너무나도 멋진 너 아무렇지 않은 척 나 조금씩 너의 옆에 너무나도 떨린 걸 너무나도 좋은데 나 이젠 널 안아볼래. I love you, I need you 이대로 영원히 너의 품에 I love you, I need you 이렇게 너에게 반한 거야. 널 좋아했으면 날 사랑했으면 날 보고 싶어서 또 볼 수 있도록 바보처럼 이 생각에 또 하루가 지나가. 아무 말도 못한 나 아무렇지 않은 척 널 보면 난 웃는 거야. 이런 내 맘 모를까 이런 내 맘 모르니 왜 이제 날 안아줄래. I love you, I need you 조금씩 너에게 빠져들어. I love you, I need you 내게도 사랑이 시작된 걸. 날 좋아했으면 날 사랑했으면 날 보고 싶어서 또 볼 수 있도록 바보처럼 이 생각에 또 하루가 지나가. 아추 이제부터가 사랑인걸. 원추 난 너밖에 또 모르는걸. 이추 너무나도 넌 완벽한걸. 이렇게 내 진심은 영원히 너 하나란걸. 누가 봐도 너무나도 너무 부러울걸. 이렇게 우리 사랑 무엇보다 소중할걸. I want you to want me 조금씩 우리 사랑 조용히 더 시작될걸. 몰래 다가가 입 맞춰볼까. 네 손 꼭 잡고 난 말해볼까. 네가 좋다고 네가 좋아서 난 너랑 같이 있고 싶어. 날 좋아했으면 날 사랑했으면 날 보고 싶어서 또 볼 수 있도록 바보처럼 이 생각에 또 하루가 지나가.
Hello and welcome back to Rhythmgates, where I'm not sure my stream actually has anyone watching at the moment. It says concurrent viewers 0. Still, I will start wittering, and anyway, I have no idea what I'm doing at the moment, as is so often the way. So, yes, what did we achieve? We managed to kill fairly efficiently that last batch of goblin besiegers, which was nice. We sorted out some of our nobles, but apparently my captain of the guard still wants an armour stand. Maybe I should try to remember how to fix that then. So that's Edem Razes Domas. Who has an office. Who has all the rooms he wants, so he may as well go to his office, or her office, and build an armour stand there. It's that one, wasn't it? Yes. Right, so that's that requested. Lots of dwarves appear to be asleep. We were desperately trying to find more gems and doing that by finding more galena. And then worrying that this was going to slow everything down too much. So I'm probably going to want to start walling off some of these long tunnels that will be causing extra angst for the pathing algorithms. I mean, they shouldn't be, because it's mostly a tree. But Suppose, oh, you stoat, that's not the correct side of that wall.
That's it's only that works on your screen, not my screen. So, check it out there.
But yes, possibly we should... yes, maybe I should use doors rather than walls for this. It's easier to not lock people onto the wrong side of them. Wonder what I should do about... Yeah, I suppose yes. If I just stick in doors, then I can lock them until such time as I need. Until such time as I actually need to have access to the relevant areas in order to, for instance, get out some more galena. But like, we don't have a shortage of galena at the moment. Let's make more doors. More doors. Thank you. Yes, it was very helpful. We may possibly have a small animal explosion here. That quantity of kittens is a little alarming. No, not tribbles, kittens.
I was going to say, Englishman's obviously growing tribbles.
No, but my animal list goes like 9 stray piglets, 4 stray kittens, 2 stray piglets, 3 stray kittens, a stray piglet, more stray kittens than I can comfortably count, a kitten with a name, yet more kittens, piglet, kitten, kitten, piglet, kitten, piglet, kitten, 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 kitten. All results, kitten. Tribbles is not an anagram of kittens. Kittens are not very good for my frame rate either. I suspect now I come to think of it that tribbles are probably bad for your frame rate. So I install a door and someone promptly leaves clothes in it. Is it a sock? No, it's not a sock. It's a shield, a mail shirt, and a pair of gauntlets and some greaves. What? Well, all being well, though, should get hauled off somewhere to be stored. We'll build a door there at least. So have we found anything else interesting yet? Someone was meant to be digging that northward tunnel, but they seem to have got distracted after digging out one square of it, which is unhelpful. Right, so we probably, assuming that we're going to carry on the approach of trying to find gems by mining out all of the galena in a level. Let's dig some more. Probably actually that should be a priority 5. I kind of had in my head what my priority levels for doing this kind of thing were, and I've forgotten them all. Well, there we're still actually going through real galena, which is nice. Yay, more amethysts. Oh dear, that's going to need walling off quickly, because that's a connection between the cavern and the inside of the fortress, which I don't really want. Well, actually, there's an alternative, isn't there, which is to wall off this. Yeah, that's probably better, which is to wall this off from the cavern rather than walling it off from the fortress. Because an incoming forgotten beast at this moment would be embarrassing. Yeah, is more or less the limit of our known galena reserves. So now the miners will get back to digging exploratory tunnels to see if they can find any more. Only seems to be turning up in the granite layers. I could look that up in the wiki actually, couldn't I? Dwarf Fortress wiki. Galena. Found in igneous extrusive layers, metamorphic layers and granite and limestone, but we don't have limestone here. Excellent. Right. I hope you haven't gone and locked yourself into an area you can't get out of, you silly dwarf. Fairly sure you should be able, like, to get... Actually, that was completely silly of me, wasn't it? Because, well, probably you can actually get back into the fortress. That is a connected thing there. Oh, but those are two separate mines. Oh, sorry. I mean, I'm doing quite well at not accidentally leaving people locked in tiny cupboards to starve to death. But actually, it's this staircase that's the connection to the outside world. Excellent. Well, I'm sure we have some trinkets for you. And probably some rubbish too. I mean, we have a slight surplus of stuff we have bought from previous caravans but haven't yet found a use for. Which is a strangely familiar feeling. Oh, we've got a spare bookcase or two, which we've collected from passing unfortunate caravans. We should probably arrange to.
I'm very confused by this display. Oh, I see. It looks as if Hello, diorite mug. What?
No, that's a list of categories, and this is a list of things in that category. So if I select, like, armour, which is actually, or rather, various kinds of clothing, like, we should probably sell the almost worn out clothes. And anything that is unlikely to fit dwarves. That will probably do. Several things there that should probably be melted down before they wear out entirely. So maybe it's cheaper to sell them and then make new ones out of fresh copper, because it's not like we mine copper anyway. Right, well, that's probably enough things for now. Large giant weasel leather cap.
No, just large giant weasel leather something. It hardly matters. If it's sufficiently large.
Well, that's some things being transported anyway. I don't know. Unfortunately, my broker is currently busy reading books.
You can close the library.
I can't close it to citizens. Citizens intrinsically...
All you have to do is remove the door and build a wall.
Yes, okay, I can close it in there like that. Let's install that spare basalt bookcase that we found lying around. I should probably rearrange things so that the hotkey for mine is here rather than is where I'm actually mining rather than in the old tetrahedrite mines. But Locum Bridge Glories is not our visiting necromancer. No. Locum Bridge Glories has only just arrived. No, you can't reside here. Right. Yeah, they're still bringing plenty of wood, happily. You just went beep. Boring. Right. Well, let's add the useless things that we want to dispose of. To the list. Look, that's just a stupid value of bin, or rather of bin plus contents. We're managing to produce non-artifact earrings with a value over 10,000.
Not artifacts. I mean, someone didn't make them.
No, this is artifact in the specific computer RPG sense. I mean, there's clearly something about it that the humans like, because its value there is less than its value in the trade list. Probably, I don't think they like things that menace with spikes, but there may be other things that they like about it.
Some people like war and artifacts for their. No.
Not quite sure why we've got this bin full of mostly full of unwearable clothes, but I'm sure the humans will like it because they'll actually fit them. Right. Usual thing of buy some interesting booze. I think we're probably at the level where we only want iron or better weapons. You don't seem to have very much in that field anyway. We'll buy a Morning Star just because. Clothes they brought with them are of no use. They may have brought some cheese. Probably generally useful to have a few crossbow bolts. I don't know. It's not like we have any shortage of stuff to sell them. Prepared sea serpent brain.
Well,
Where did you get a sea serpent?
Rescued it from the Klingon ship that was attacking it, I think.
Yes.
um,
Yes, I would sell them, my piglets, but I have to put the piglets in cages to do that. That means making cages. Right. I don't think carving forks are particularly useful. Well, that looks reasonable, actually. Will they do that? Yes. Mostly got rid of a bunch of not very useful stuff. We haven't actually sold them any of our products. I mean, I could just give them a vast pile of products. Let's just try that. Oh yes, I should look up the requirements for getting the monarch to turn up, because I think we can achieve that with a bit of faff. And probably some crashes. It just gives them, like, a ludicrous value of stuff. How did we make amethyst scepter? Wow. It's not very valuable, but it's impressive. Right. Have some stuff. Like, yeah, they had so little stuff that we actually wanted to buy that we ended up not really having to sell them anything valuable at all. Oh, let's think of anything else we need. Possibly we need a means of dealing with random naked mole dogs. Like, people are occasionally shooting them, so. Wonder if we could just, like, surround the main entrance to the fortress with fairly low-grade weapon traps as a thing for dealing with naked mole dogs. Like, we can always buy plenty of low-grade weapons after all. Yes, there's still plenty of mining to do up here. I rearrange myself briefly so as to reduce the amount of hot air being blasted at my legs by my laptop. I think one of the... Oh, there we are. Oh, no, that's not... I thought that might be the end of that seam, but no. That vein, but no. So yes, I think I want to. One thing I think we can do is engage in sending people out for to get tribute from places. Probably shouldn't be going after places that are our own civilization, or is that? I think I may actually have to read the documentation of this. The point, natural or supernatural? All right, no, it says the civilization there, and our civilization is the Rock of Fortune, isn't it? Yes. Those aren't rumoured artefacts. We should more or less know what we've got. So strictly, these are...
It might be rumour as well. I mean, you know it, but everyone else...
Yes, true. Yeah, I probably don't want to be trying to get tribute from an enormous human. What else do we have? P. You have no recoverable missing citizens. M. You have not created any missions. World artifacts and people modes. Artifacts. So a local family thinks that there's a pig bone coffin in nose tools that we should have. Lots of local families think that we should own lots of things.
Okay. So it's one of the things you don't know. What? Oh, right, okay, no.
I have no idea.
I'm kind of tempted to send someone off to nose tools.
Countries of death, I'm trying to battles and other
War
things.
was hopeless.
Yes.
I've got some disease which much stuff around.
I found various countries. I didn't get that. I didn't Paris at all. I tried various countries. Germany. I tried Poland. Got 12 hits. I tried Britain. I got 8 hits or something. And on for a while, I tried death. Because of death to family. If death can be it for a while. Death gave some information. I then searched through for the word death and saw death and something. I think there's control and death. There's a whole section called death and something. I then guessed what something was. Not that related.
I forgot my nose tools is. Yeah.
So that gave me, because I searched through the funeral, and then something gave me a clue. Yes, Italic funeral something, and I thought, hang on. So I guessed that. And I thought, who did that? Why did you do the funeral? Frozen also true.
We could try sending a mission out nose tools to try to reclaim Winter Scorch, a pig bone coffin claimed by a local family.
Same world.
Yes.
you can travel to the base.
Well, I can't. I've got a fortress to run, but I can send people there.
But could you sort of scroll across the map to nose tools?
Yes, if I could remember where it was. So it's...
Unfortunately, I have to prevent the name. I can think of the music, I just can't think of the name.
Name of a Polish musician.
This is the problem, I have no idea. I'm stuck on it being Holst, and it's not Holst. I don't know, I can't remember his name.
If I tell you who it is, I'll which one is the answer.
Yeah, but
No,
Still trying to understand the user interface here.
that helped.
that's what it is.
But again, it wasn't really, all the ones with death, battle, war, fighting, thing, empire.
Oh, right, there's Cobalt Relics, which of course is not a Dwarven fortress because we've abandoned it. And this, therefore, is not thing. Well, where is it? It was somewhere near Cobalt
Actually,
Relics.
I need to do Polish. I vaguely assumed he was vaguely French.
Isn't that my Chopin?
Yes. Your point is.
Incidentally, if anyone listening is playing it, that's all.
Yeah.
We could say bleep. Bleep.
Rather curiously, I don't think the YouTube interface has a means of censoring the audio on streams like it does for video. So there's Cobalt Relics. I'm sure it was near Cobalt Relics. It's kind of amusing that I've lost my own fortress. So there's Cobalt Relics. Let's do it by artifacts. Okay, Nose Tools is actually in the same place as Cobalt Relics as far as we're concerned. I think. Oops. But we can't see Nose Tools for some reason. Well, maybe we should thus send someone out to fetch that thing and see what happens. So, artifacts. Oh, we should collect a limestone mug, obviously. Hush. That one is canonically a white jade mug, even though I'm not sure you can make mugs out of white jade. But you can probably make artifact mugs out of white jade. But no, it isn't. It's here.
Dwarves make a lot of things out of a lot of things they shouldn't make a lot of things out of.
Create new mission. No thanks. Right, we now have possibly a mission to go and retrieve a limestone mug from Nose Tools. I have no idea how that will turn out. Maybe.
It's a mug covered in lime scale.
That's not quite the same, though it's similar. I suppose that is a way to avoid the need to descale your mug, is to make it out of limestone. So it just gradually gets thicker and thicker.
Then if you descale it, there's nothing left.
Yes.
Unless, of course, if
Well, you can descale it gently and eat away a bit of the inside. You just need to not do it too effectively. Mining is going very efficiently, but we're unfortunately mostly finding more galena. There's some more amethyst, though. Like, there seems to be a bit of a failure to haul the amethyst downstairs anyway. We should put in a door so we can separate this off from the fortress as necessary. Similarly, let's stick a door there. Make more doors. Oh, we were improving someone's thing. Guild hall, weren't we? By filling it with galena. Hang on, I think one of those may be a diorite statue. Well, we'll demolish it. No, we should demolish it now while we, if we can see which it is. Don't think we really need to dig that section out. Probably be slightly easier if there were a floor across that chasm. Let's quickly build one. Right, well that seems to be everything that we've found so far on that layer. Dug it out, but we've still got some probing on this layer to do. And then we could also do some on this layer. Oh. That should improve matters. Yes, I do kind of wonder whether the people we might send out to excellent find things might encounter anywhere as scary as, well, home. Oops, no, I didn't mean designating ore, I meant auto mining ore and gems. Stones.
I did then read good job the triple targets.
So that lot is not yet connected to the actual fortress, it's all connected to something unhelpful. Well, I think it would be wise.
So hang on. At the start of that Tribbles episode, you were transporting something on board. You joked it was going to be making 2 Tribbles in a coat.
Oh,
It wasn't,
oh.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just in the fur coat, my French.
Is this vein going to stop there? Is it going to turn the corner and head south again? Looks like it's heading south again. Plus here is a kitten. So I'm here generally just trying to prefer connecting things into the fortress rather than into the caverns if I can. And connecting the mines into the fortress rather than into the caverns because that makes it easier to get mined materials back.
So it's cooler next week, just in time for me to go back to work and be cold at
You're going to turn out to be unable to build that wall because there's a kitten in the way, by any chance. No, that's been successfully done. Now someone should dig out that section and then we can wall that bit off from the caverns as well. Incidentally, we seem to have, while digging what wasn't intended to be an exploratory hole, nonetheless found a small cluster of amethysts, well, presumably amethysts. We mostly seem to get amethysts down here. Right, so now we can build a wall across there. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think we want anything more from them. turn that cheese into something more valuable. And start exploring another galena vein. Alright, so now that's properly walled off from the cavern. I've struck Cat's Eye.
You can't be very unhappy. Can't be all left.
Don't think we have any jobs set up for Cat's Eye.
Oh, yeah, that could have that leg first, please, and then fix its eye.
It's a kind of gem.
I know. It doesn't look quite such a good job.
So that's all going all right. We might at some point want to do the same thing of replumbing this area so that it's connected more firmly to the fortress and less firmly to random bits of tunnelry. Random bits of cavernry, rather, sorry. Layer seems to be a bit short on minerals, doesn't it? Finding plenty on this one though. This of course is, well, is making our fortress even more tempting to anyone who might want to turn up, because they can go, oh, look at all that lovely galena, which is very heavy and quite awkward to move. Bye bye merchants, hope you like all the worn out clothing.
If you don't.
They'll be back. So we don't seem to have much by way of gems on this layer apart from that small cluster of Cat's Eye. Probably not actually bother with that extra bit of exploratory tunnel, but it's too late now. The dwarves have decided to mine it anyway. These can probably be dug out further to the west if necessary. Sure, there must be some more galena out there. Looks like we found... Yeah, I still don't understand that.
I thought you were falling off your feet. Work out. Obviously, brie is the first one that I can choose. Probably is just too much chocolate.
It's possible they do indeed have uses for worn out clothing, but I don't think dwarven paper making extends to making it out of... Actually, I can't remember how dwarven paper making works, because we're mostly working on parchment in this fortress. I believe paper making does exist.
Yes, in all those what to make parchment out of is not exactly systematised to the point of deciding what the best creature is to use and growing lots of it. It's more like make parchment out of anything that doesn't run away fast enough.
Well, mostly we buy parchment because it's such a pain to make. Hooray, more galena.
Oh, okay, so somebody else made parchment out of whatever.
Whatever didn't run away fast enough, yes. What? Did I screw that up? Auto mining ore and gems, standard marker only, mine. Standard not marker only. Mine, thank you. Ooh, a gem. Okay, auto mining works kind of weirdly, I think.
What is it?
That's where you
tries to guess what's likely to be a good direction to head next.
no, so the normal arrangement is that you designate particular tiles for mining, and the dwarves will mine out those tiles. Auto mining means if, having mined out a tile, they find some more of the same mineral next to it, they will automatically designate that tile for mining as well. So it used to be that we didn't have auto mining, and so if you wanted to mine out an entire seam of something, you would be sitting there repeatedly designating the new tiles as they became visible.
Right, so this is basically the analogue of the thing where you click on an empty square in Minesweeper and it says, oh, in that case I can open all the
Yes.
empty ones next to it.
But the rules for what it designates next are kind of odd, because it appears that it doesn't have to be a newly revealed tile, but it does have to be adjacent to the one you just mined, and it must not already be designated for mining. And so this causes oddities when I've got a fixed tunnel to mine it, marked for mining, and then a vein goes and intersects it. probably want to reconnect this vein up to the main tunnel at some point, because otherwise people are going to be lugging things all the way around the ends of it. This vein is turning out quite long, and it hasn't actually got anything valuable in it yet, apart from yet more. Yes, we should see what that... We agreed to build a grand guild hall, and we still haven't managed to build it. This is going to require an awful lot of statues, or we're going to have to start making something a bit more valuable. No, that was meant to be auto-mined. Right there. Yes, Silvertown is notable for its sugar factory. And for the Thames Barrier, come to that. Right. Yay, more amethyst. More amethyst. We're doing alright for amethyst now, I think. Yeah, okay, we've got so many rough amethysts we don't know what to do with them. So why have we accidentally lost our manager or something? Oh, we've sent the manager away, who is also the mayor, which means that no jobs can actually get done because the manager can't tell anyone to do them, or rather manager jobs that are well, it's like as a temporary measure. For set up an encrust finished goods with amethyst job on repeat. I mean, it's not very clever, but it will keep us going until the manager gets back. Yeah, losing the bookkeeper is not such a problem. Everyone has what they want, at least. Our captain of the guard is now happy. We still apparently need to make that an even better guild hall, so let's make more statues. Make statues until we can't fit more statues in. Oops, no. I need to remember my keys. Stone plus Galena plus T stone Galena. Obviously this would be quicker if our manager were here. I keep doing this to the same one. Too many. Maybe I should record a macro that does what I need. Yeah, okay, that was better than me trying to type it correctly. No. bloody locking conflicts. This is why you need a manager. Has the manager come back? No. How are those jobs getting scheduled then? Maybe they're... I don't know. Maybe there's still a list of jobs that still work properly. Oh. Well, that's nice. I'll see what you claim and then watch you like a hawk. We've got too many pigs. I should possibly slaughter some pigs were it not for the fact that we also... I can't remember.
Varieties of strange mood.
Yes, it's a kind of strange mood. Types of mood. Fey. Fey is the most basic strange mood. Fey dwarves will clearly state their demands in the workshop. Yes, there are much more interesting moods you can have. You've claimed a jeweller's workshop. That should be quite fun.
You might end up with the world's most valuable earring again, though.
Well, we've...
Okay, there are traders visiting. You can always say, thank you, I will take your entire trade caravan. Here, have the dinner.
I mean, we don't actually have any meat, but we do have, like, an embarrassment of prepared meals at the moment. Like 3,000 of them. But on the other hand, we do also have an embarrassment of pigs. Well, it's more that they're overrunning the workshops.
Even exceeding the number of kittens.
Well, the kittens, I think, are more willing to wander, willing to go further afield.
Perhaps you should beam all these pigs into a neighbouring fortress. Preferably one full of gremlins.
Right, that's all our adult pigs scheduled for termination. Maybe that will improve the frame rate a bit. And reduce the number of pigs in the dining room. I wonder if I can sort out a means of reducing the locking conflict over these cut gems. I have a horrible feeling there probably is a solution that involves mine carts.
No, not mine carts.
Well, then we would stop putting them in bins and we put them in a quantum stockpile generated by the mine cart.
And instantly catapult them several hundred feet into the air?
Not necessarily. So that's our cut gem stockpile. And the current arrangement is that takes from that stockpile. He's not happy. Or she... she's not happy. There's some material she needs that she doesn't have. Let me see what she has. She's pretty well off. So she has rough cat's eyes, rough amethyst. So she has rough gem, rock, leather, block, bone, cloth. Must have raw green glass and rough gems. Oh dear, are we out of raw green glass? Well, that's easy enough to make because I think we've still got a decent amount of sand around. Glass is naturally green, at least in Dwarf Fortress.
Go to a special green sand.
No, clear. You have to jump through extra hoops if you want your glass clear.
I thought you would go for like this bottle there.
So, yes, that's all fine. I think someone is working on the glass. They are bringing some sand down right now in a bag. And they're presumably going to find some charcoal. Getting distracted by all the pigs. What are you doing out there? Someone randomly left some charcoal in the caverns. Or have you decided that your correct route to somewhere? Oh right, there's a bunch of charcoal stored up in the mines for smelting. More pigs slaughtered. Right. The fabrication of raw green glass is now properly underway, and it has been made, and we can see there our dwarf of strange mood going to collect the raw green glass. Now what? Oh, you're working. Excellent. Well, that should be fairly exciting. Well, that's a nice additional vein. How many more statues have we built? Let us install those, which will probably still not be enough. Stock of spare pig nervous tissue needs reducing somewhat worryingly. Oh yes, I'm trying to encourage those people dealing with bones to use ones that are elsewhere, aren't I? For now. In the hope in particular that they'll clear out some of the doorways. Lots of stuff getting thrown away there in the desperate hope of dealing with the pig situation. Let's start adding weapon traps around our front door. We really have plenty of copper spears lying around, don't we? Let's just stick 10 copper spears in this weapon trap. I'm sure that will be fine. And then just hope that naked moledogs step on it and get suitably minced.
Well, there's a thing about having lots of bits of string, isn't there? You tie things together randomly, and what probably in a loop or or something. With an octopus, it's not quite the same.
No.
It's an octopus, it's already a single surface. So.
How is the mining going? Cat's eye bucket! Well done! Encircled with bands of cushioned diorite cabochons, rectangular galena cabochons, and cushioned green glass cabochons, the object is adorned with hanging rings of rope reed and menaces with spikes of cat's eye, cougar leather, beak dog bone, and cave spider silk. On the item is an image of Winter Scorch, the pig bone coffin, the coffin that we've sent someone to sent a couple of squads to Nose Tools to collect in amethyst. Right.
Is that coincidence?
I don't. Well, we know
the expedition to Nose Tools seem likely to have inspired this person to.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, we know that someone in Rhythmgates thinks that Winter Scorch should be theirs anyway. So it may be that so Winter Scorch does have some connection with Rhythmgates. I'm kind of tempted to demolish our existing well and reconstruct it with this artifact bucket.
solve the unknowable object. that or a doomedly practical thing to try to do to a very silly object.
Well, the good thing about artifacts is that they are generally like indestructible and such like. Oh right, no, we suspended the construction of a statue because there was someone in the way. Generally means there was someone standing there constructing the next statue along. I presume we haven't got it up to an adequate level yet. 7,700. It's not going to get to 10,000 before we end up filling the place with statues. We're going to have to do better than statues, aren't we? Maybe another 4. I suppose, yeah, we can fit 4 in, and well, like it's a rather crowded guild hall now because it's so full of statues. Maybe we should just extend it northwards a bit, so that we've got more space for statues. Aha! Our trap is now shredding naked mole dogs. And conveniently, I think we've dealt with all the pigs now, so the
There's actually 100 tiny biscuits and a giant biscuit fur.
so the butcher's shop is now available for the purposes of naked mole dog butchering. Yes, we probably don't thus need a vast number of additional traps. And just depend on that one to mince anything that treads on it. And that will deal with the light naked mole dogs running around the place, because as soon as they go out through that door, they'll go squelch. He says, staring at a naked mole dog that's quite clearly not about to go out through that door. So, if we were going to make these gems work properly, I mean, yes, we can do a fairly simple quantum stockpile, can't we? We can do something like construct a wooden minecart or two. build say a track stop. It doesn't really matter, does it? Need to first remove one of those. So we'll reduce that stockpile a bit, so that then we have enough room to build a track stop here that dumps east. And then set up a hauling route. How is that done? I'm sure I can remember. Hauling route. Name. I want to create a new gem stockpile there. That gem stockpile should be set to only take cut gems. Should be the same setting as this one. Okay, so that actually allows for all things. All cut things. And then we want to set that stop. We want to assign it a vehicle, and we want to have it with nothing that happens here. But with a stockpile link from there, which it will take from. And then we want to disconnect, and then that is just an ordinary. So this should then be set to take from links only, which means it won't take from anywhere. That should have bins forbidden. And if I've got that right, now newly cut gems will get placed in the southern one of those stockpiles. And immediately put into the minecart, which will immediately dump them into the northern stockpile. At least that's the idea. I mean, like, there's a load of objects here. Why are you not? There's a stockpile there that should take them. Well, let's encourage them to take from that. Encourage that stockpile to take from that workshop. Right, 2 jobs are now scheduled for placing items in the correct stockpile. Doesn't appear to be any of the objects in this. So that's ended up in the stockpile. Now is there a job scheduled for put item in minecart? Right, I don't think it was set to take any objects from there. Right, okay. Enable gems, but forbid rough gems. Store item in vehicle job, right. Right, so that looks like that silly quantum stockpiling is more or less functional. I suspect we thus don't need that link. I think the reason why that was not activating was that the dwarves were collecting things from elsewhere. And that should now reduce our number of cancels in crust because things aren't available. Problems, I hope. And since the minecart never moves, it should probably not kill anyone.
walk who've managed to accidentally beat their head in against the stationary minecart quality. Masterpiece at the gormlessness. Your possible perversity.
Right, let's do that reconstruction of the of the well that I was threatening. Should do it fairly quickly because we only have one well. It's clearly still getting some problems. Oh, well, I think this is because they're getting put into the bins, and that, of course, still means we're locking the bins. Right, no bins in that thing. Right, now, meanwhile, let's build a new well. Let's go for Oh, we've got some native silver blocks. Let's go for some native silver blocks. I suspect they're the most valuable blocks we have lying around, aren't they? Basic value 50 versus 10 and 25. What? Not that kind of native. And obviously an artifact bucket and a silver chain and whatever the best mechanisms we have available are. Which are frankly not very good, but there we go. Right, that well should impress anyone who tries to use it.
Especially if they're right at the bottom of it and someone drops a stone on it.
Thank you. Okay, I am now slightly wondering where those bins full of gems are going. Just check that this one forbids most kinds of gem, yes. Okay, so where are all of our cut gems now? Yes, some of them are obviously in that.
Good night.
It is a new season. We haven't heard anything back from our folks who went off to nose tools, have we? Are you going to get a little note saying, I'm sorry we slaughtered them all at some point? We're not taking your artifact bucket, we're turning it into an important part of the fortress. And it is, yes, a fair distance to those tools. Admittedly, I can't remember how many days or months' journey the map said it was. Let's have a look. Only 11 days travel. I mean, admittedly we also can't see it, but... I think we may be accidentally recovering the wrong artifact. Oh well. Let us smooth the new bit of Guildhall. We don't currently have anyone trying to store anything in this stockpile. Even though it definitely takes all kinds of cut gem. Let's re-add that take rule then. Maybe turning that off did break things. So that one's not set. That is set to take from anywhere, as it should be. Okay, that take rule does appear to be necessary for some reason. Because now those cut gems are actually being properly loaded into the minecart and immediately dumped next door. And apparently going round and round in circles. I'm pretty sure that the place they're in is the place they're allowed to be. Unless I'm getting confused. Let's carry on watching. Well, that looks at least like something good is happening. Something is getting encrusted with claro opals. Sure someone will be along to sort that out soon. It is, I will admit, not a very helpfully laid out guild hall, being as it is full of statues. It seems to be so crowded, people are finding it hard to set up more statues in there. Possibly I should have tried to do this either with a larger room or with a thing other than statues. So statues do have a good value multiplier. Right, I think that that quantum gem stockpile is working correctly though, and we're still suffering from can't do certain jobs, but I bet that's partly because we just don't have the gems in the right place yet. Like we don't have any red whatever it was at all, so spinel. Still plenty that are just sitting in that jeweller's workshop. Presumably at some point someone will actually manage to grab an object from that workshop and take it upstairs. Oh, that's a pity. I think that's probably because our mare is still off. Visiting the visiting nose tools. The pity is that the visiting diplomat, which I think was just the outpost liaison, admittedly, couldn't come and talk to the mayor because the mayor wasn't here. But it looks like we don't have a mayor at all, which is a bit confusing. Still plenty of gems to shift out of the jeweler's workshop. Or in the gem cutting workshop. Doesn't seem to have anyone on it at the moment, so let's have another go. Hooray! We've managed to make the guild hall good enough. And there's still one statue to be built. So what on earth is that flashing green A? Alright, it's a visiting overlord. An evil creature resembling a walking frog, apparently. Amphibian man, maybe, those are. Maybe. Goodness, there's still someone standing in the wrong place. Well, we'll deal with that later. Have we got a, right. Yeah, have a load of worn out clothing. In return, let's have some high value metal. They do have some rather valuable gems lying around, don't they? Slightly tempting to buy their valuable gems and turn them into something ludicrous. Go on. Okay, I mean, amethysts come in at 100 anyway, so maybe they're not that valuable. You notice they brought no wood at all since we didn't ask them for any this time. Oh no, they have brought a little bit, sorry. 4 logs. That may possibly be buying too much booze here. Steel spear, we'll have that. Steel warhammer's not quite so useful, but still. It's possible we've just sent a load of our most valuable weaponry and armour to Nose Tools, and we'll never see it again along with its owners. So it's probably worth stocking up a bit. Get a small amount of additional sand in case we need to make more green glass. Obviously I'm buying several things that are extravagant and or unnecessary, but what is the point of being hugely oversupplied with resources if you don't buy the most expensive of everything? And the occasional pair of River Otter leather trousers because we can.
Start again.
Oh, it's got shortly, but not that shortly, because that's how stitch you. Oh, prayer.
It is impressive how much cheese dwarves make. Really, that's a very large amount of cheese. And yes, people occasionally steal our books, but like it's not like we're short of the ability to get new ones. Right, we're going to need some stuff to sell for that. Happily, we've got stuff. Well, that should do. And as traditional, we'll offer a reasonable amount to encourage them to come back. Right. So that guild hall is now sorted, even though people keep standing where we want to build the last statue. Oh, they've stopped, right. Let's unsuspend building that statue. There is, I will admit, a bit of a shortage of other places to stand. There's still an awful lot of gems in there waiting to be moved. Right, thing. Let's just have a quick explore of our mines and schedule some more mining as appropriate. So that is only connected to the fortress as it should be, so let's give that some exploratory tunnels. Something like that. One I think has adequate amounts of exploration done already. Probably don't actually need to go west of about there, do we? Based on this layer, that's about the point where it turns from granite into whatever, diorite. Yes. Oddly shaped seam, and there seems to be a fair area that we haven't covered, so what I'll do, I'll make a tunnel from here back over to this tunnel. Putting a few probing tunnels here. That's the upper layer of the useful mine. Right. I'm not going to try to handle walling off the mines properly tonight. Oh, there's another. is mining. Oh, I wonder how she got hurt. So it's yet more amethyst for our encrusting business. Right, and now miners will get on with these rather boring tunnels to try to find more gems, or at least galena veins. So that square has now got gradually accumulating quantities of stuff in it, which is nice. Right, that's all looking reasonably pleasant. I'm not in any serious trouble, and my major problem is that I seem to have mislaid my that's not hopeful, is it? So they are officially still travelling. So we might hope that they will come back eventually. But they're not here for now. Right, well, we'll see whether they come back eventually. Meanwhile, it's midnight and time for bed. So, I should just pause and say good night from Rhythmgates, and we will see you on Sunday.